You free? It's not free though.
Thanks.
Okay. Taking back your power.
Oh, there it is. Okay, thanks.
Recording in progress.
Okay.
All right. Do you want me to share this? It says screen share. You don't want that, right?
No.
All right.
Okay.
We're going on like 20 years in advance, I think.
Okay. We are getting ready, everyone. Just a little bit early because we want to make sure everyone can get in time. My mom sent a request to be part of it.
Word of the
Okay.
day.
Hold on.
You gotta figure it out. Okay, it's a French.
And then
fry, so
there's
it's
one
very
request. Hold on. Where's the other request?
I don't. It's fine.
Shoot.
Okay, so the definition
Okay,
is a fashion designer who manufactures and sells clothes.
We have more people. Elevations is wanting to be part of it. I'm wondering if we make elevations part of it, though, is it going to make the screen too small? I don't know how to.
Yeah, it'll have the screen.
Yeah, should we try it? Try it. Okay, I'm going to accept elevations. Because I want them to be able to stream it. That's fine, because it's half no matter what, right? So let's have elevations and you, and then we're good on TikTok. We have 120 currently on TikTok. Are you accepted on the TikTok? I'm going to invite you. Yeah, the TikTok. The TikTok. I'm going to add a host. Wait a second. No, I'm not supposed to. No. No. I'm not looking for a host. I have a host. Are you on my live?
Are you talking
Yeah,
me?
to you, yeah. On TikTok.
Yes, on
I'm gonna send you. So if you have another device to go onto the TikTok one, I will.
Yep. Let me get it right here.
Okay, cool.
Right.
Then I think I can just literally put.
Okay, wait a minute.
Let me make sure we're good to. Okay, we've got 15 on YouTube and okay.
You're live on TikTok and Facebook.
Okay, perfect. If you, as soon as I see you on silence, we'll try to make it. Try to ask you. You're on silence, yeah?
Not on my device. On my computer, I'm logged in through.
Go under unsilenced on TikTok so that I can add you to live stream it on yours.
Oh wait, I am. Okay.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me.
I don't know why I can't. Oh wait.
Cameras, no.
Yeah.
It's not suggesting.
Not a camera.
Stop.
Okay, go online on unsilenced.
Yeah.
It's saying you're offline. So hold on.
Because we're doing it remotely, I think a lot of people are.
Dang it. It's saying you're offline.
Tuning in, yeah, with the
Let's
holiday.
see. Are you getting this comment on TikTok?
I'm Amy.
Just testing.
Hi.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
And
Your hands.
you're
So chilly, right? Yeah.
It's really cold.
This is good.
Hi.
Shannon, she's from the
Nice
Salt
to
Lake
meet you.
Tribune.
Yeah. Nice
Oh.
Thank you for being
Yeah,
here.
Hi,
Meg.
What name? I forgot.
Shannon.
Shannon, that's
Hi.
right. Nice to finally meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for keeping me in the loop.
I don't
appreciate
see
it so
any
much for coming.
live comments. Are you under unsilenced in there?
Yes, I'm under unsilenced TikTok.
Okay, it's saying that I can't invite you because you're offline and I don't understand why.
Are you seeing any comments?
It's his birthday.
Yes,
What a fun way. It's
Yeah.
like a-
yes, I am seeing comments. I'm just not seeing
No, I'm 18.
yours.
Oh, today's
Okay.
MLK Day.
Can you do a request to join?
No, I don't mean today.
Yes, let me see.
You can write your own notes.
So Alan, we're gonna wanna put our chairs pretty close because we're vertical on two. So,
Okay.
yeah, we're just gonna go right next. And,
Meg, you mind if I sit
Yeah,
here
we're
so I
okay.
can control this?
yeah, sit there.
Oh, thanks. Hey, do you have that tissue then?
Yeah.
Okay, do you need it? You can hold on to it? Okay, yeah.
All right. Just so everyone knows, we are not going to be answering questions while we're talking here. So if you're commenting, we can see them later, but we won't be able to see them from where we're sitting. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Why did this live end? Why did it end? That's weird.
Shannon, you want a water?
I actually have.
Okay, we'll take one anyway.
Why are we having trouble starting my live? This is so
So,
weird.
You work for them.
It's all like Judy.
What do you do?
I generally report about like business,
Uh-huh.
a little bit of tech, but just like.
We are having issues.
Which is, there's a lot of it here, and there's a lot of, I write a lot about like loopholes, and people exploiting them.
Oh, well, you're in the right place.
Yeah. Turns out.
Jeez. Utah's like, has such good things, and then it has
And
this
then-
What?
underbelly.
So
of
they
just
removed my
fucked up
content.
Shit, you know?
Turns out.
Turns out.
Wait, it says that it removed my content because it says I shared nudity or sexual activity. What?
Oh, wow. You
That
have
doesn't-
to like you have to like file it real quick.
That is definitely not what I did.
This is a powerful industry, Meg.
Yeah, right?
Oh, so it means that someone could have reported it.
Yeah, duh. Duh.
Are you from Utah?
I'm not. I'm from Wyoming, so close, similarly cold.
Where are you
Probably
from?
actually a little colder. Wyoming.
Oh, oh.
Jackson, Wyoming.
Yeah, so pretty.
Very pretty.
So relaxed. I like literally say to the.
Okay, everyone. The other live was removed. Apparently it was against standards. False, but that's okay. All right, we were gonna get started here in just a second.
It's a
So
special state.
thank you everyone for
well,
your
like,
patience.
Drove through, but like just because it's
All right,
so
we're good.
different. Interesting.
It is. It's like a unique bastion. Yeah. Okay.
Just leave this open so other folks come in.
Turn up your brightness.
Do I need to, Vinny, do you want me to get this on my phone?
Oh yeah, that's true. Maybe that's why.
You've blue eyes too.
You guys are all blue eyed, by the way.
Yep. For the blue-eyed clan, you know.
Blue eyed stare.
You know, it's two Gentile, one Mormon, one Gentile, and a Jew.
So in Utah, only in Utah can a Jewish person be both a Gentile and a Jew. Because anyone who's not Mormon here,
Yeah.
we consider Gentiles.
You know,
Oh.
do people ever, when you
Funny.
go other places, do people ever go, oh, I've never met a Mormon?
All the time.
Isn't that the weirdest thing?
Yeah.
We're like,
It's kind of like,
The
yeah, you
world
really
you
have,
live in.
actually, but,
yeah.
okay.
Ryan also made fun of Finn for Jewish.
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for coming this morning. I want to introduce, my name's Alan Mortensen. I represent Finn Richardson here, who had his birthday yesterday, turned 18. And Meg Appelgate, who's here on behalf of her organization, and she'll be speaking to us about the problem in Utah with troubled teen industry. I will get this over to Finn. And Finn said that he's prepared and would like to.
Yeah, so first of all, good morning. It's so nice to talk with you all. You guys have probably heard a lot, but my name is Finn. I'm here with you all today to talk about my story as a survivor of elevations. That's a story that for a lot of you probably know all too well. But before I start, I just kind of want to tell you guys about how my stay at elevations came to be. So I when I was 15 by my father, who would abuse me throughout my childhood because of my desire to live with my mom and the fact that I identified as gay. I left my dad's house in the summer of 2021 because he had sexually assaulted me in some sort of way to control me. And your life ended. And I wanted to be in a safe place, which angered him, and essentially he said I was going to be sent away as a means to get my act together. I was abducted one night by two men whose names I never learned and I still never know. And they whisked me off to Utah, where I am today. They drove me, and the only view that I saw was mountains covered in smoke by the wildfire season that year. A tar-black road to an isolated place of a building that was labeled Elevations Residential Treatment Center. I didn't know what I was walking into. I didn't know what an RTC was or what I was getting myself into. The only thing I was sure of was the dread that was rising in my stomach when they forced me inside. When I walked in, iron doors shut behind me, and I walked into a grayscale hall where I was taken by two staff to the bathroom, stripped of my clothes, to a shower, and searched. In short, I was stripped of my dignity. Then I shrank myself to a plastic bed that was barely bigger than my body, and I completely broke down. I knew in this moment that I had been truly betrayed by my father, that this is what he wanted to happen to me, for all my cries to fall behind deaf in a place where no one would hear me. I stopped crying when a man entered the door, a man who many of you probably know. His name is Ryan Faust. Ryan Faust said that he was going to be my therapist and that his job was to help me get out of here in a healthy and safe way. He told me that to leave, I had to go out what he called the front door, which essentially was obeying the center's wishes and the whims of my father. So essentially doing what my father wanted and to be obedient to him and to not say anything about what he had done to me. More importantly, he told me that if I went throughout the back door, i.e. not following the program's wishes or wanting to live with my mom, as in not listening to my father, it would prolong my stay and it would be harder for me to leave. I knew in that moment that I had no support here. I soon learned that Elevations was not what I thought it was cut out to be. My days consisted of monotony. And I'm going to say we instead of I, because I know as survivors that many of us have experienced these same conditions and in the same place. We were condemned to days that lacked activity, empty time where we were forced to sink deeper and deeper into the realization that we were prisoners here by the systematic betrayal of our parents. And when we did have activity, it was always for the purpose of reminding us how much of inmates we were. We were encouraged to put each other down. We were encouraged to rat on each other for our own benefit, hoping we would get released. At every given group therapy session, at every so-called therapeutic activity, we were constantly reminded that we were sick beyond repair, how we'd failed to fulfill the wishes of our parents. This is what Elevations wanted from us. At Elevations, the only thing we really had was each other. And my friends at Elevations became some of the most important people in my life to this day. In fact, one of my closest friends at Elevations was one of the first people I opened up to about the sexual assault I experienced by my father. When they encouraged me to tell Ryan, he instantly told me that he didn't believe me, and I was treated with disbelief and disdain. He asked me questions, not because he wanted to grasp the situation and try to help as a therapist, but because he wanted to try to catch me in some sort of lie, to expose me, as if I was nothing more than a conniving liar. Throughout my stay, Ryan made sure to taunt me with this. He would tell me and squeeze me, and that he loved me, as a way to taunt me and to see how I would react. Ryan liked to see me in distress. He was also sure to frame my mom, the one person I did want to live with, as a deterrent, saying that she was the roadblock to the front door, and that if I followed it, I was going out the back door. Needless to say, Ryan was a man that I dreaded. He was not on my side. He was not a support base for me. He was a man under the guise of a therapist that sought to help me, but really he just wanted to make me helpless. I wanted to catch him in all sorts of things to mock me. Elevations as well wanted to do this to me, as both Ryan and Elevations were willing to testify against me in court for my parents' custody case. My own therapist and center that was supposed to rehabilitate me wanted to testify against me in court that I was sick beyond repair. Elevations as well was sure to reprimand me for when I got a lawyer to fight for my release. They denied contact with him and also my religious freedom to contact a rabbi. They refused it. Elevations also delayed the process of reporting my sexual assault, which my therapist flat out said that he didn't believe and that he was going to hesitate in doing it. Worst of all, I was framed for having COVID by Elevations, and I was placed in solitary confinement for 9 days, right before I was to take a psych eval to determine if I was going to be released or not. Elevations wanted to do this to me. They thought I was a nuisance, and they wanted to take it out on me. But I wouldn't let Elevation succeed. And 9 months after my release, a psych evaluation by an independent party determined that I was free to go, and that I was completely mentally stable, and that Elevations had wrongfully framed me, as well as my father. I left that day on March 15th, 2022, and my life has been different since. I've seen the effects of Elevation and what they've done. I know far too many people who have died, far too many who have fell into drugs, who are homeless, who go back to broken homes that foster the notion that they were sick. And I won't sit down for it anymore. I won't sit and watch this happen to people anymore. And I'm here to say to all the survivors that this is not only my case, but for everyone at Elevations, whether you're dead or alive. It's here for all of us. And I know that Elevations is watching this too. And I want to let you know that you're not going to get away with this like you did with all of the other ones. Thank you.
Thank you, Finn. We'll turn the time over to Meg Appelgate. Thank you, Meg.
Thank you. Thank you. My name is Meg Appelgate, and I am the CEO of Unsilenced, a nonprofit organization committed to stopping institutional child abuse. As a survivor of institutional child abuse myself, I can attest to the widespread prevalence of stories like Finn. Unfortunately, Finn's experiences at Elevation RTC are not an isolated incident, but a distressing echo of the experiences of hundreds of thousands of other youth. Finn's ordeal sheds a light on a deeply entrenched systemic problem that I stand before you to address today, the troubled teen industry, and how Utah has become its biggest victim. The troubled teen industry is a network of powerful and punitive congregate care facilities that claim to reform struggling youth through behavior modification practices and other non-evidence-based practices. These underregulated facilities adopt various names, such as boot camps, residential treatment centers, therapeutic or religious boarding schools, and wilderness therapy programs. Those fortunate enough to make it out of these facilities often refer to themselves as survivors, which illustrates the fundamentally flawed nature of these programs. The sheer number of youth caught in the clutches of these facilities is appalling. Despite the lack of required reporting, we estimate that between 120,000 to 200,000 youth are subjected to these environments each year. The financial cost of this problem is staggering, with over $23 billion of federal public funds being funneled into these facilities annually. Unsurprisingly, Finn's story traces back to Utah, a state that has, over the past 50 years, become an unfortunate haven for these facilities. The state's vast landscapes and isolated locations have been exploited to host over 100 youth congregate care facilities today, attracting more children than any other state. It is a perverse economic cycle. Because of each child like Finn, the cost ranges from $5,000 to $15,000 per month, with funding flowing from insurance companies, states, federal funds, and parents. This financial model, while pouring millions into local economies, inadvertently incentivizes programs to keep youth there for as long as possible. Instead of prioritizing treatment or well-being, they are driven by profit. Though these facilities are injecting millions of dollars annually into local economies in Utah, the real cost is far more significant: the emotional and psychological toll on the youth involved. This is something Finn, bravely sitting here today, knows all too well. A further testament to this is the shockingly high rate of reported abuses. Thousands of complaints over the past decade have alleged psychological harm, sexual and bodily assault, physical and medical neglect, isolation, civil rights violations, and even death. In fact, over 350 young lives have been lost in this industry, a fact that heightens the urgency of our mission. An investigative report from the Salt Lake Tribune in 2020 revealed that between 2010 and 2020, 37 lawsuits were filed in Utah against troubled teen facilities. And 40% of those involved allegations of sexual misconduct. And of those, 10 involved staff members sexually abusing children. While the deceptive marketing on behalf of these programs has caused surges in enrollment, the methods employed and the outcomes achieved are often far from what's promised, as you've heard Finn highlight today. While allegedly designed to instill discipline, respect, and fix kids, the youth who go into these facilities have every aspect of their lives monitored. Contact with the outside world is cut off, and they have a complete loss of free will. Facilities often use methods that inflict more harm than good and seem only to break the spirit of the vulnerable youth they claim to help. The effects of these tough love practices are not isolated to the duration of the program either. Instead, they linger. And as survivors like Finn and I exit these programs, the invisible scars we've carried become evident in adulthood. Through my advocacy, I have really started to witness the true and long-term effects that living in this environment can cause in survivors' lives, such as complex post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, anxiety, substance abuse, and personality disorders. Survivors often struggle with unstable housing or homelessness. They can often experience a lack of employment and job training and have poorer educational outcomes. They lack opportunities to develop critical life skills. They are more likely to become delinquent, and they have increased chances of suicidality. The tragedy for these youths is that their abusers were often mental health professionals or authority figures in their facility, people who they were supposed to be able to trust. When the time comes for them to seek ongoing support, the idea of therapy itself can be triggering because it reminds them of the abuse. How are survivors going to receive ongoing support in their lives if the very thought of seeing a therapist triggers their trauma that was supposed to be their treatment? It seems that the ongoing trauma that survivors suffer from as a result of these programs is the treatment. The strain on family relationships is equally distressing, as families desperate to help their teens are often contributing to potential harm by enrolling them in these harmful environments. Once survivors leave these programs, the process of rebuilding trust and fostering healthy relationships with their families becomes a formidable challenge. This is not just a legal matter, but a public health crisis that demands our immediate attention. We cannot disregard the fact that young individuals seeking help and treatment within Utah are instead potentially subjected to environments that exacerbate their struggles and leave them with deep emotional wounds and fractured familial relationships. The courage of survivors like Finn is sparking an international conversation about the need for regulation and oversight. In response to growing public awareness and calls for reform, Utah passed Senate Bill 127 and Senate Bill 239, aiming to strengthen oversight of these facilities. While this represents a positive step, there remains much work to be done, because since the passing of these bills, there have been 4 deaths in Utah, facilities in your backyards, which emphasizes the necessity for more comprehensive reform. It is time for Utah, as a community, to demand change. We must demand stricter regulations, improved oversight, and most importantly, a shift in our approach to dealing with struggling teens. Punitive measures rarely yield the desired results. Our children deserve environments that foster growth, healing, and understanding. We must replace this industry with systems of care that genuinely prioritize the mental, emotional, and physical health of our youth. Ultimately, we must remember that these are not troubled youth. They are youth in trouble. They are not the problem. They are the promise of a brighter future, a future that, as a state and as a community, should be prioritized for all youth, no matter where they call home. Utah, a state known for its natural beauties, has unfortunately been overshadowed by a grim reality. The state has been tainted by the haunting reality of the abuse suffered by countless in and out of state youth. It is not what Utah should be known for, but for many, this is the reality. For many, Utah has become synonymous with the pain and trauma suffered here during their youth. It's a heartbreaking truth that there are countless adults today who never to return to Utah. The very thought of this state stirring up past traumas. This stark reality underscores the urgent need for change. It's time to transform Utah from a reminder of past hurt into a state known for its commitment to the protection and well-being of all children. As a survivor of two such facilities, where I spent 3.5 years, I can attest to the persistent pattern of maltreatment that has been left unchanged in the last 20 years since I was there. This destructive cycle must end. Our youth deserve a future free from harm, abuse, and neglect. Unsilenced is committed to empowering survivors like Finn and promoting transparency in an industry that discourages it from existing. Unsilenced is not just an organization. It's a movement helping survivors break the silence that plagued their youth and leading them to a place of validation so they can find healing and justice. Help us change that narrative. Call your representatives, call your local officials, demand change, demand transparency, demand safety for the youth in our communities. The abuse must stop, and it stops with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Finn. Thank you, Meg. You both did an excellent job. I just want to add my comments from a legal standpoint. These kids are oftentimes, as is Finn, kidnapped in the middle of the night. They have no idea where they're coming. They come here without an attorney. They come out here without a guardian ad litem. They come out here with people who are using protocols that are not evidence-based. They're not scientific-based. They're punitive, and these kids are trapped. And Friday was the 1-year anniversary of the burial of Taylor Goodrich, who passed away because she was ignored. She was hated by the staff at Diamond Ranch Academy, which, because of great people like this who came forward, shut down the Diamond Ranch Academy so that they can't hurt any other kids. But there's still a huge problem, and thank goodness that Finn had a mother and had an attorney and had a rabbi who listened to him, and then with a unbiased court-appointed psychiatric evaluation, found out that he shouldn't have been there in the first place. Finn is going to either go to Stanford or he's going to go to Princeton. He's got above a 4.0 GPA. He's brilliant. He's a great kid, and thankfully he got out of there, but not before he was totally let down and destroyed by elevations. So the purpose of this lawsuit is to bring accountability to this industry, to bring accountability to this facility, and to make sure that our kids, when they are brought here, are given evidence-based therapy that ends up helping them, springboarding them into life instead of shutting them down and almost making it certain that they won't be successful. Again, we thank you for your time and your attention this morning. And I think, Shannon, if you have any questions, we can take them. If not, we'll shut down. You don't have to have questions.
I don't have a lot. I begin. Finn, was there an on-ramp or like a breaking point that brought you here back to Utah? What encouraged you to pursue this path?
So we've been talking about this for a while. It's definitely been in the background because I knew as soon as I got back, I think one of the biggest things for me is that I knew that, I was leaving, but I was leaving in a way kind of like a family I'd made. And as more and more of my friends got back, I saw the ways in which they kind of just shrank and came back to these lives where they just fell into the same habits because they didn't have to. And I had a friend who lived near me and came back, and I saw the state that her parents treated her in, and I just said, no more. I can't keep watching this happen to myself and my friends. And I worked myself to get out, and I'm very fortunate for that. And I knew that, if I had that opportunity, the least I could do is to help other people who didn't have the same opportunities as I did.
All right.
Do we want to ask them if they have any questions?
Let me see if
Looks like we
there's-
got Fox 13 and
If anyone has any questions online, they can text them. Doesn't look like it. All right. We'll go ahead and end the press conference. Thank you, Finn, for being here. Thank you,
Yeah.
Meg.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Amy Poole, Finn's mother, has accompanied him from Washington, D.C., and she's been a great support. So we'll go ahead and end the press conference. Thank you.
Thank you.
now we are also live on those. I don't know if you want to see if there's any questions in there.
And
Go
let me
ahead.
take questions. I think your Instagram one ended.
Oh, I know. Someone keeps
Yeah.
yeah, if the Instagram one was reported twice. So if anyone has any questions, Finn said that he is willing to take some of those questions right now. So I am looking at both the Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok to see if anyone has any questions. Go ahead and throw them in the chat. #unsilenced. Heck yeah. Yep. I'm so happy this is finally getting the attention it deserves. Look at that.
There's no questions because you did such a good job with
Yeah, I know.
Very thorough. Thank you.
How's it feel being in Utah on your own terms?
Yeah.
It was triggering, wasn't
Take
it?
back the
It
state.
was, I mean, it's a little hard, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It definitely is. But I also never really was in Salt Lake that much. So that's kind of nice. Like, it's nice to look over everything.
We did get a question. Oh, Dean's in here.
Hi, Dean.
Hi, Dean. What is the lawsuit going to be about? Let's see. Hold on. I lost it. What is the lawsuit going to be about? What is it going to stop?
The lawsuit is going to be about holding elevations accountable from a financial standpoint and to motivate them to change their policies and procedures so that their students, and I use that term loosely, have due process rights, have protections, have good health care, and to make sure that they really should be there as opposed to just there because their parent or their Native American tribe or their state welfare system or their school district is paying over $10,000 to $25,000 for them to be there monthly. And so that's the basis of the lawsuit, is to hold them accountable financially for what they've done to Finn and to motivate them to change.
And what about what can people do in general, but also survivors of elevations? How can they help?
Speak to others. I mean, just reach out to your friends. Just say, this is happening. This is starting. It takes a village.
And obviously, if there are people that have had similar experiences at elevations, reach out to us. Having additional witnesses is crucial to a lawsuit to show that this is not a one-off event, that this is a systemic problem.
Yep. Let's see. Dean said hi.
Hey, Dean.
We are so proud of you. You are amazing, brave, beautiful. So awesome. Let's see. What team were you on at Elevations?
I was on Denali, but when the boys were on Ridge.
How do we reach out as a witness?
My email is, I'm sorry, I was eating some trail mix.
Let
Very
me
professional here.
write down the email.
It's AMORT
Mm-hmm.
at MORTMILNELAW.com.
That's amort at mortmilnlaw.com.
Correct.
I put it in the chat there. If you have anything to send. Is there any hope in reforming a place that's entire program is based around abusing children?
That is an unanswered question.
Right? Let me check TikTok here.
The 10 million.
Oh, I didn't realize there were two.
Yep. Why are parents allowed to sign rights over to these facilities?
That's a great question, and that's something I have to hand it to our state senator, Mike McKell, who is a very conservative Republican, very pro-business, but yet he's seen the problems and has articulated some very good legislation that should be used nationwide to give kids protections. And you know, it's one of those situations that before they go to this type of facility, they probably should have a judge or some guardian who doesn't have a dog in the fight look at it to make sure that it really is required, and also can monitor the type of program that a child goes into.
Here, just scroll with two fingers. To go
Okay,
down and up.
down. Okay, got it. When
and
did
one
you
other
leave
thing-
Elevation?
I left Elevations on March 15th, 2022.
One other thing I'm going to mention for those who are, want to be a witness or have questions and they went to Elevations or anything like that, is to definitely go to my Linktree or Unsilenced Linktree, and you're going to find an Elevations experience survey. You can go there and write down all of your experiences, and that will go directly to me. So I can be able to put you in contact if you missed the email there. Could you point the screen down a little bit
Down?
of the screen
Like
of the
face.
computer? The screen
Mom,
of
like the face of the screen.
I don't know how.
the laptop.
Like the lap, like physio.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, guys. All right. Finn, somebody said it's so
You
good
just
to
did it,
see.
like-
So good to see Finn smiling. I hope you can feel the pride we all have in him. Yay.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm sure people would appreciate the contact information for people wanting to give testimonies being posted somewhere after this live stream.
Yeah, for sure. I can post that as well. And like I said, go to my Linktree. There'll be a survey that you can fill out. It goes directly to me, so I can check that right after too. But I can also, maybe I'll do a story and have the direct link to that survey along with Alan's email in case you want to email him instead.
Okay. Of course, I'm not able to scroll down because I'm an idiot. Okay. All right, here we go. Or not. Okay. Thank you for your work. Is it too late for victims when it was Island View?
No, it's not too
Not
late.
too late for them to come forward.
Yeah.
Statutes of limitations may be
Yes.
Right,
gone,
okay.
but
It's important to know that even though Elevations has changed names from Island View, that all of your experiences are probably going to be very similar to the experiences of Elevation survivors. And what that does is getting your accounts allows us to establish a pattern of abuse that we can show that these things have been happening for a very long time. In the case that they say, oh, well, we changed practices or, anything like that. So
Yeah, different name, same place.
exactly.
Right. Brave Mun, what is the link tree?
Linktree. So, oh, this is Facebook. That's right. If you go to my Instagram,
I'll do it.
my Instagram, which is at Meg Appelgate, you will see in the bio there'll be a link. That link is a link tree, which will take you to a huge amount of different links, and it'll say surveys, elevations, RTC experience survey. You can see it on Unsilenced or on mine or my TikTok, which I'm at Meg Appelgate as well, or at unsilenced_now.
Okay, Finn, you just got a message from Dean Jeffries L. Goodrich. He said, "A brave young man for coming forward."
That's the
Thank
that.
you.
Right.
Thank you.
Love to you.
I appreciate your support.
Wait, hold on.
I-
Wait.
Cancel?
No, just
Okay, I'll leave. You guys are asking.
no worries.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
No. Here we go. I think it's good.
Show me how to scroll, and I
It's just
promise
all
I'll
you-
do
It's
it.
just go up and down like this.
Okay. Are there any more?
I don't know why it's not.
Yeah, it wouldn't load anymore, and I know there are more.
There.
Okay.
There we go. Let me just check Utah.
Is there
Good
something the family of survivors or students can share or do to promote things to happen for change? From Julie Goodrich.
Sorry. Is there something that families of survivors or students can share or do to promote things to happen for change? So I would say just share as much as the content that we're putting out to ensure that it reaches as many people as we can. Continue to kind of create that awareness that we need for people to be aware of elevations. And then Finn, what about for you? What's something that you think?
I mean, I think the same. I think having discussions about it with other survivors and just, answering the surveys is really important. Reaching out to us. We're here. We're available.
Let's see. See if there's any more thoughts on Monica from SLC.
Oh, I did not watch
I
the
liked her.
Housewives.
Oh,
Like, my mom
this is
did.
just.
I like her.
Oh my
Is that the
gosh.
one that went to prison? Which is the one that went to prison?
I have no idea.
Jen Shaw.
Turnabout programs in SLC changed to Stillwater. Yeah. Let's see. Was there anything at Elevations where they discussed the Provo protests or protests at Elevations?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Yeah. Was there anything at Elevations where they discussed the Provo protests or protests at Elevations?
So I heard people like at Elevations amongst kids, it was kind of an underground thing, like talking about Paris Hilton, Provo, things like that. But like we weren't allowed to talk about it.
Were they angry about it?
It was always like under wraps, but yeah, they did not like hearing about it.
I'm glad. Let's see. I wish you nothing but healing and peace, Finn. So proud of you for stepping forward and fighting.
Thank you.
How long were you at Elevations?
I was at Elevations from August 3rd, 2021 to March 15th. So about 9.5 months. And I didn't have like any LOAs really. I had like in total maybe like 4 days worth of LOAs. So I was really there the whole time.
Oh my gosh. I'm in Utah. I was threatened with losing custody to DCFS if I didn't admit my daughter to Provo Canyon.
Can't contact us.
I'm in trouble too. I know. Most isolating time of your life, I know. Well, yes, there'll be a recording of the press conference. I recorded it both on Zoom and we'll have the Facebook one that we can use as well.
Yeah, Meg, I think I'm done, but I'll take one more question.
One more question? Okay. Let's see if there's any more questions. He's taking one more. If there's any more questions, let me see if there's one on here. Let's see. Yes, there'll for sure be a statute of limitations for suing. If you're curious about the statute of limitations, talking to a lawyer is going to be your best bet. I don't know if there's no more questions. I think Finn wants to be done.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah.
So thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and end the live.
So,